Today I want us to look at how to set up a virtual local area network, and from our previous class we have some basic theoretical background about networking, and today we want to look at how to implement those things that we have learned in the theoretical part of it. So you launch your virtual machine, virtual box. Then I have two operating systems here: Windows 10 and Kali Linux 25.2. And if you look at this, if you go to Kali Linux, for example, and click on setting and click on network, under here you see adapter 1, adapter 2, adapter 3, adapter 3. That means I can connect 4 different networks. That means on this virtual network. So if you look at open here, this attached to, you see NAT. This NAT means network address translations. You only use this NAT when you want to they can communicate with the internal network of the virtual machine only. So you only use this one when you want to communicate with the internal network of the virtual machine. That means it will not use the network from your host computer or from your host network. So if you want to communicate internally using the virtual network, that is the virtual bus network or the virtual NAT now. So on this Kali, we want to put it on NAT and press OK. Then we'll go to start. Let's start our machine and see, our operating system, and see what it will give us. So having launched our Linux, if you check the network now, let's put it up here. So if you check it now, let's launch it. Please remember to connect to the internet. Remember, before you perform this, remember to connect to the internet. So if you run, if I do if config, or let's do IPA, you see here now, you see that our internet for IPv4 is 10.0.2.5. So if anybody actually have Kali, all of us will have almost the same IP address, because we are making use of the same virtual network. So it will be 10.0.2.15. So that is what the NAT is telling us. So each and every one of us can connect together to the network. But what if I change the network here? Let me go back here and change the network. So I'll come back here now and change the network. I'll change the network NAT from NAT to bridge adapter. Now, using a bridge adapter simply means the host, that is this particular one now, the Kali Linux or the Windows, will make use of the host network. That means if I'm connected to any network on my primary operating system, it's the same network that the virtual machine will use. So that is why for network bridge adapter. So if I press OK, right, and save and go back here now and come to this, I need to restart it before it take effect. So I'll restart the system for it to be able to take effect for the changes I have made. So looking at this now, let it finish booting. Let's give it some time. It's taking time to boot. Okay, it has finished booting. So let's check out the network right now. So we will check out the network to see whether the IP address has changed or not. So you do IPA. So if you see now that the IP address has changed, it's now 10.148.5.85. You can see that the IP address has changed to another IP address. That is to tell us that everything is now using a bridge adapter. It's now using a bridge, so it's taking the network that we are connected to right now. The network that, look at this network that we are connected to. This my system, the primary, this network we are connected to is taking it, the primary, this system network. I mean this system network we are connected to, the primary network is taking the network now. So that's what we call bridge adapter. Now the other ones we want to talk about is other network we want to look at is internal network. Internal network simply means I can connect the internal network so that all the operating system here can share that the same network. It means internal network. Then host only network or adapter network means that it only take the adapter of the host alone. That means if I connect this one to host only adapter, each and every one of them will have different make use of different network. Then if you use NAT network, a network that is still connected within a NAT that you build by your own. But this NAT and this NAT, this means a default NAT, and then this is the NAT that you set up by yourself. Then this is cloud network. Cloud network is when you are connected to the cloud infrastructures that you want to attach the network to your virtual system. That is when you use the word cloud network. So let us close this Linux operating system. Okay, let's close it for now, or let's still leave it and go back here. If you go back to these tools here, if you want to set up any network, go back to these tools and you click on go to file. Let's say go to file, go to tools. When you go to tools, go to file, go to tools. When you go to tools, see network manager. Click on what? Network manager. When you click on network manager, you see something like this. You see host only network, you see NAT network, you see what? Cloud network. So you can create any one you want to create by yourself. So if I want to create a new host, if I want to remove this existing one, I'll click what? Host only network here and click what? Remove. So it will remove all the host only network. So it will remove it to nothing is here again. So if we go to NAT now, if I want to remove it, I can also remove it. If I go to net, see that all the network have been removed now. So there's no network here again. There's no host only network, NAT network, and class. So if I want to create a new host network, I'll click on create. I'll click on create. When I'll click on create, let's see what it will give us. Let's click on. So when you click on create, you see what? Configure adapter automatically. It will automatically configure it for you. But if you want to configure it manually, you will see it here. You see that the IP address is 192.168.219.1. That is if I put it on all host only adapter, and that's the IP address it will use. Then mask IPv4 network mask. So I can change this one to also 1. So the IPv6 here, this IPv6, if you want IPv6, you can also use IPv6. So if you look at the DHC server, the server that power it, you can enable the server or you can leave it at 000. Okay, so if you enable it now, you see DHC server, so you see 192.2 and server mask. So look at, if you check this one, so server network mask, IPv4 network mask, this is server mask 1920, server mask, lower address band 193, upper address band 25. So it's starting from 2, you're going to start from 2 down to 254. So every other person will be taken from you. Remember, I'm connecting for the general this thing. So let's take this one to 0 back here. Let here be 0 back here, so that it will start from 0. It will start attaching 1 2 3. So if I attach now, here will be 1, here will be 2. So when you finish, click apply. So it has been applied. So you can create also a NAT network. So if I create NAT network now, so if I create NAT network, and you see a NAT network here, I can rename it. Sorry, I can rename it here. Let's say I name it anything I want to name. I can say cyber load. So you can see the NAT network is 10.0.2.8. So I can enable IPv6 or leave it like that. Port forwarding. Port forwarding has to do with if I want to port forward if I want to deny any port or enable any port, I can port forward it. This is port forwarding. Rule number 1, TCP enable 10.0 guest IP address. So can create rule 2, can put UDP enable. So you can do an enable TCP or UDP. So this is port forward, can forward port. The current port forwarding are not valid. None of the host or guest port value may be set to 0. Okay. So let's say the host IP. If I want to port forward anything, I can put the host IP here and so. But for now, I'm not going to do all these things. So I'm not going to do all these things for now. So let us just go with the basic setting. I'll click what? Apply. So if I want to go on cloud, I can set up a cloud network. Now, if I subscribe to any cloud network, I can put the name of the cloud network, then put the provider here. I can add the provider if I have any provider, then their profile, then my ID. So, but right now I'm not connected to any cloud infrastructure. Example of cloud infrastructure: Google, Azure, or AWS, or Google. But right now I'm not connected to any of them. So when you finish, click what? Apply. So that is so we have set up our internal network and NAT network and so on and so forth. So we go back to this. Going back to our operating system, I can come here. And go back to network. So instead of using this one, bridge adapter, I can set it to what? Host only adapter, and press what? OK. So I can go to window 2 and put it on, go to network and put it on host only adapter and press OK. So that all of them will now be making use of the same word network. So I'll go here now. I'll go to this side. I'll go here, Kali. So if I do IPA, you can see the IP address has changed. You can see now that it's 192.168.219.3. You can see now it is 0.3 now. So this taking 0.3, the window will be 0.4 or 0.2, then the default system will be 0.1. So you can see that this taking 0.3. So that is how you do it. If I look for the IP address of window now, so we don't want to waste time, but if you look at the IP address of the window now, you see that the IP address, the window might be 0.2 and so on, and because it will not be making of the host word IP address. So that is what's called host only word network. Oh, our window encountered a problem. Virtual machine extension ran into a non-factual problem. So our window encountered a problem. So but let's see, it will be running, but it's not something we can sort out now. So that is how to set up a virtual LAN network. So depend on any network you want to use, whether you want to use NAT, whether you want to use a bridge adapter or any other nature of the network, but it all depends on your purpose and your scope. But remember, if you want to connect to the internet, we'll make use of what? The bridge adapter. If you want to make use of the host network, we'll make use of the bridge adapter. So thank you and see you in the next class.